Afternoon D&D, TikTok, and beyond, and welcome to Season 7 of Roll for Sandwich, the series where I let fate decide my lunch. Let's go. Today I'm going to be using these
Yo, Smolderkin with the 20 gifted.
hard dice that were sent in by a viewer.
Much love, man.
Thanks. Let's get things started with our roll for bread. 6, Hawaiian. Ooh. Hawaiian bread is soft and sweet. We're going to go ahead and use our toast cantrip to hopefully give it a little bit more structural support. All right, that should do nicely. Phase 1 done, and all is well.
Wait, leveled up, level 7. You didn't even use all of them.
Next up, let's roll for Maine. 9, ham. Today I have some nice smoked honey ham. It's got a little sweetness, which will nicely match our Hawaiian bread's slight sweetness. Let's roll for our cheese. 1, provolone. This provolone has a smoky flavor, which goes right along with our smoked ham. So far,
This makes me remember that there's this little Italian deli next to where I grew up, and they had something called sharp provolone. It was so intense, like eating just a bit of it would make your face like really red and flush. I want to go get some now.
Are so good. Okay, let's roll for our roughage. 1, prickly pear, and 2, cucumber. Prickly pear is the fruit of the prickly pear cactus. The protective spines have already been removed, so all we have to do now is just cut through its thick outer skin and open it up to reveal the soft inner fruit. The soft, pulpy fruit is filled with seeds that are too hard to bite through, but are not harmful to swallow. They are somewhat difficult to remove without making the fruit into just mush, though, so it's pretty common to just spit them out as you're eating. The fruit has a mild and sweet flavor, kind of like watermelon. Flavor-wise, I see no problems here, as long as we can get around those seeds in the end.
It looks good, but the seeds sound like they're going to be a problem on a sandwich.
Now it's time for the triumphant return of our mandolin, because sometimes you have to eat an entire cucumber, but not today. We'll get some nice thin slices of cucumber here to add on top of our sandwich, giving, again, a mild flavor and a nice crunch. Really seeing some nice cohesiveness in the sandwich so far.
Right. I'm digging
Next
it
up,
so
let's
far.
get wild with our wild magic. 15, TMNT. This pizza seasoning is named for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which themselves are named after Renaissance painters and sculptors. What a world we live in.
Yep.
And last but not least, it's the D20 sauce roll. Here we go. 14, curry sauce. I bought this sauce at the Dutch Village thinking curry sounds nice, not really understanding that it was curry ketchup. Probably would have been lower on the list had I known that. But
I want it.
Dutch Village thinking curry sounds nice, not really understanding that it was curry ketchup. Probably would have been lower on the list had I known that. But the good news is, generally, you add something to ketchup, it makes it better. Let's go ahead and get our toothpicks in to hold it together, and let's get it cut in half. And let's take a look at that cross-section. Well, it looks really nice.
It does actually look
Honestly,
nice.
not much to complain about with this one. At least on the surface, it seems like it's going to go together pretty well. Let's give it a taste. You know, this is a pretty tasty sandwich, overshadowed by one thing. I really underestimated just how many seeds there are in a prickly pear, and it's genuinely pretty disconcerting to have to pick out small inedible bits from your sandwich. That's just not an experience that I'm used to. You go into a piece of fish expecting a couple bones, or a piece of fruit expecting some seeds, but not a sandwich. Flavor-wise, this is great, but it definitely loses some points for dining experience. I think I'm going to go ahead and give this one an 8.7, and I think that we're going to call it the Check for Traps. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
That's a good name, actually.
I will see you again on Wednesday.
Check for Traps. That's actually a great name.
Good afternoon, D&D, TikTok, and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Sandwich.
That one does look good, though. I've never seen that fruit before,
but
it looks good.
Today I'm going to be using these swirly purple dice that were sent in by a viewer. Thanks. Let's get things started with our roll for bread. 4, Texas toast. Texas toast is a variety of thick-cut white bread, typically served alongside barbecue. It works well for sandwiches and is great as French toast. Next up, let's roll for Maine.
You did miss the Pokemon opening.
4, egg salad. Well, I think the extra thickness of our bread will come in quite handy today with this
some egg salad.
wet Maine. And at the same time, it's nice that the bread will still be soft. I like soft white bread with egg salad. So this is a win-win for me. Next up,
W
let's
so
roll for our
far.
cheese. 4. Peppadew cheddar. Peppadew is the brand name of a variety of pepper grown in South Africa, also called
I'm
a
not a big
sweet
fan of this
pecan
type
pepper.
of cheese,
It has a
but
nice
it's
flavor that
fine.
works well with this
All right.
creamy cheddar that's
Still
embedded
W
in.
so far.
Should pair nicely with the egg salad. Overall, so far, we've got a very creamy sandwich with some small hints of acid. Time to roll for roughage. 5 pickled onions and 10 pickles. These pickled red onions will bring in another welcome splash of acid and a really nice purple color, along with a little crunch, which will be great with all the goo. Well, it served us so well last time, I'm going to bring out the mandolin again for our pickles. We're going to use one of my few remaining sour garlic pickles. Going to take a few of the same boxes that we already have with our onions, both with the acid and the crunch, but bringing in a little bit of garlic won't hurt anything. Time to get wild with our wild magic roll. 7. Peanut brittle. Peanut brittle is a confection made
Dude,
by
I love
melting
peanut
down
brittle,
sugar,
but
mixing in
on this
peanuts
sandwich
and
though, I don't
letting
know.
it cool on a flat surface and then shattering it. It's very crunchy. It is way more solid than our main.
Uh-oh.
And last but not least, the D20 sauce roll. Here we go. 11. Alaskan bullwhip hot sauce.
Oh,
I
it's
guess we're going to
cooked.
be topping this one off with this hot sauce made from Alaskan bull kelp. I was so flustered by the peanut brittle, I forgot to film. So it's on there. Let's take a look at the cross section. I mean, it looks pretty good if you don't know about the brittle. This one really seemed like the dice had plans, and then at the last minute, I don't know what happened.
Oh, no.
Maybe they'll be good. Who knows? Let's give it a taste.
Oh, the
That
crunch!
is a strange sensation. Peanut brittle has such a distinct texture, and it's really weird to encounter in the middle of a bite of a sandwich. That being said, it doesn't taste all that bad. I think the contrast between the softness of the egg salad and the peanut brittle is a little
Kinda
too
want egg
much
salad
in this
now.
case.
I
But
want
I
egg
kind of want to
salad.
try peanut brittle on a different sandwich. It's weird. I expected this to be a lot more off-putting. But, you know, it's kind of giving me ideas. That's the fun of this show.
Yeah, it's Black Friday,
Sometimes
though. I
even a
can't go to
failed
the store today.
sandwich can
Shit.
turn into something good. Still surprised that this is way more palatable than I thought it would be. Season 7 sure is off to an interesting start.
7.7.
And so far, still an enjoyable one. And you know what? I'll take
7.7.
it. I think I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 7.4.
Ooh,
And I'm going to call
close.
it Brittle Me This. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on Friday.
Close, actually. 306.
Good afternoon, D&D, TikTok, and beyond, and welcome to Roll for
Well, I
Sandwich.
just don't like going to the store when there's a bajillion people. You know what I mean? I just not a fan.
The series where I let fate decide my lunch. Let's go. Today's episode of Roll for Sandwich is
Like I always go to the store at night when it's like about to close. You know, like not like right before it's about to close, like an hour before.
sponsored by Madeline May. Her new EP, The Bard, is full of whimsical fantasy vibes and is out now.
There's like not many people. You know what I mean? Am I gonna get DMCA'd for that? Hopefully not. I'm just gonna play it safe.
All right, without any further ado, let's get it started with our roll for bread.
There is no 24/7s near me.
4. Texas toast. Y'all were shocked that I didn't
Dude, I gotta get Texas toast, man. I haven't had a Texas toast in a long
toast
time.
the Texas toast last time. I get accused of toasting everything, but you want it toasted? Here we go.
I need
We'll toast
I need
the
some Texas toast in my life, chat. I might have
Now
to go
it
to the
is
store tonight.
Truly Texas
Egg salad, Texas toast.
toast. Next up,
Oh,
let's roll for
man.
Maine.
Oh man, it's got a grip.
8. Roast beef. First a toast, now a roast. Will this
Wait, hang on. Can I get Texas toast without the garlic bread? It is possible, right? I feel like I always, whenever I see Texas toast, it's always the garlic bread version.
this sandwich be the most? I don't know. I'm just the host. Next up, let's roll for cheese. 3. Munster. I've decided to name our 2 slices of cheese today. This is Mike, and this is Sully. It's Munsters Inc. Next up, let's roll for
Okay.
roughage. 8 lettuce and 10 pickles. Lettuce fresh from our garden today. Not mad about
Looks good.
that. Shaping up to be a pretty good sandwich so far. The pickles I have today are hot and zesty pickle chips. They're thick, crinkle-cut pickles with just a little bit of heat. They'll be nice to add a little zing to this so
Not
far
a big
pretty
pickle
normal
guy,
sandwich.
but you know, you
All
do
right,
you.
let's get wild with
Looks
the wild
good.
magic roll. 18, kimchi seasoning. This Soul Sisters kimchi seasoning will bring in a
Oh.
little bit more heat and a little bit of that funky fermented flavor, which should be quite nice
Ooh.
here.
Funky fermented?
And last but not least, it's the D20 sauce roll. Here we go. 17, piccalilli. Piccalilli is an English condiment consisting of a tangy mustard full of pickled vegetables. Not a bad roll for a roast beef sandwich,
English
all things considered.
food?
Though we do kind of already have pickles and some spice from the kimchi mix, so I'm hoping that it doesn't
I'm all set.
just end up being redundant. Still, I'll take that over marshmallow fluff or milk any day. Let's go ahead and get our sandwich closed up here.
I finally heard the mustard thing last
Get our
night.
toothpicks in to hold it together, and let's get it cut in half. And let's take a look at that cross section. I mean, that looks like a normal sandwich.
I finally heard the mustard thing last night.
Possibilities of roll for sandwich. Sometimes we just get a normal sandwich. Let's give it a taste. Really very little to complain about with this one. The Texas toast is nice and thick, so it holds up to the piccalilli and the juice from the pickles. Maybe I should have used the second sauce spell because roast beef is a little dry. This one could really use some tomato, mayo, a little more diversification of flavor, but all in all, it's a pretty dang good lunch. And so we're closing out week 1 of season 7 on a high note, which makes me scared for next week. Gonna give this one a 9.5, and I'm gonna call it the Bard's Toast. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hope you have a great weekend, and go listen to Madeline May's new EP.
Wow, that was actually really high. I did not expect it to be that high, but it did look good.
Good afternoon, D&D, TikTok, and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Sandwich, the series where I let fate decide my lunch.
The audio is sometimes a little bit different.
Today I'm going to be using these watermelon dice that were made for me and given to me by a viewer at Gen Con.
Those are cool.
Thanks. Let's get started with our roll for bread.
Chat, I think I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to try to go to the store.
From deep within the Icewind Dale, aka my freezer, today comes some cinnamon raisin bread. It is frozen, so we are going to use our toast bread cantrip to bring it back to life. There, that's much better. This bread has proven to be surprisingly flexible in the past. We'll see how it fares today. Next up, let's roll for Maine. 3, fish sandwich. Fish sandwich refers to these frozen Alaskan pollock fillets that I have. They take about 15 minutes in the oven, so we'll get it in there and then we'll come back.
Chat, when you put something on a pan like that, do you always put tinfoil or nah?
Moments later.
All right, so it's been a little longer than 15 minutes, so our pollock fillet should be nice and cooked. Definitely not my first choice to pair with cinnamon raisin bread, but
I
could
always
be a lot
do.
worse. Considering what we've been through on this show, I'll count my blessings. Next up, let's roll for cheese.
Parchment's acceptable as well.
4, Peppadew cheddar. Back once again to our creamy cheddar with inclusions of South African sweet pecan peppers. This stuff is pretty tasty and it melts pretty well, so putting it directly on the hot fish might be a good thing. Next up, let's roll for roughage. 7,
Those
fresh
thick
basil,
slices, I
and
don't know if
11,
they'll
none.
melt like that, though.
All right, we'll just step out to the deck really quick here to grab some fresh basil. Basil being the only roughage on this sandwich is interesting.
It's a lot of
We've
basil.
already got quite a few different things going on with this one. After washing our basil, let's arrange it on our sandwich here.
That is a lot of basil.
There we go. And it's time to get wild with the wild magic roll. 6, cotton candy mistake.
Oh, no.
Some kind soul sent me this spicy jalapeno cotton candy.
No.
So
what
here we go. I've actually had cotton candy on the show a couple different times, and I didn't put very much on, and the sauce immediately melted it. So in an effort to actually get a bite that has cotton candy in it, we're going to put this entire patty of cotton candy on. Joy.
Oh,
And last but not least, it's the D20 sauce roll. Here we go.
Why?
2, ketchup. Well, I guess that's what happens when I have 3 good sandwiches in a row at the beginning of the season.
Oh, Jesus.
Now we have
no. It got so much
Okay,
worse.
let's get it closed up. Get our toothpicks in to hold it together. And let's get it cut in half. And let's take a look at that cross section.
Oh, it looks like an
I
egg.
just unlived SpongeBob. I am uncomfortable
Fish, cheese, basil, cotton candy, and
with
ketchup.
the energy that we've created in the studio today.
This is a straight 0.
Let's give it a
zero.
taste.
This is a 0, right?
Here we go. Well, I'd imagine that's what biting into fiberglass insulation is like. The texture of the compressed cotton candy, not great. Flavor-wise, we're all over the place. We've got weird, fake jalapeno flavor, cinnamon and sweet raisins, and then random fish.
Oh, this is 0.
It's not good. Don't recommend.
That's a
Whatever the
0.
opposite of cohesive is this. Just about everything in it is at odds. The cheese being a little melty, maybe the only
That's a
highlight.
fat 0.
Oh yeah, and of course, there's ketchup on it. Great. Well,
Looks like
the
he's gonna
hammer was sure
cry.
to fall at some point, and boy did it ever fall. Not the worst one I've had, but a bad one. I'm gonna give this one a straight 2, and I'm gonna call it the Nasty Patty. It's a shame I gotta do this,
Wait,
but
what?
here you go, Earl. Good mimic. Thanks.
The fact that I got a 2? That's crazy. That is crazy.